Sultan. In Delhi, entrepreneur Akash Oberoi, amidst sad, is facing the heat from his investors about his pro-takedown mixed martial arts (MMA) venture, which is flopping in India. Frustrated, Akash talks with his father Mr. Oberoi, Parikshit Sahni, who tells him his MMA venture needs a desi rustic Indian wrestler who will pound foreign fighters to dust. He points him towards Sultan in Haryana's Rewari, whom he had seen wrestling before and winning several championships. Akash leaves for Rewari and finds Sultan, Salman Khan, working in the Jal Nigam, state water board, now, an overweight, depressed-looking man who impresses Akash by lifting a tractor, but who outright refuses Akash's offer and tells him he's stopped fighting. Akash meets Govind, Sultan's best friend, who tells him the reason is Sultan's love story with Arfa, Anushka Sharma. The movie moves into a flashback. 8 years ago, while kite running through Rewari, Sultan, who runs a small dish TV business, bangs into Arfa and hits her, thinking a man is wearing her scooter helmet and driving. Arfa, who's a wrestler training at her father Barkat's John Bazakara gym, beats up Sultan, who promptly falls in love with her. Sultan's grandmother encourages him to tell Arfa while his father disapproves. But Sultan, who follows Arfa into a wedding and sings to her, confesses his love to Arfa, who tells him in English he'd be called a sit guy. Sultan thinks this is a compliment while Govind tells him it means shit guy. Sultan then joins Barkat's Akara, first having to donate blood before Arfa, who finds he's a rare O-negative and trains to be a wrestler. Arfa grows friendlier towards him, and they start going up and down the village together. Sultan takes Arfa to meet Govind and his other friends one day, and they address Arfa as Babhi, sister-in-law. Arfa is furious with Sultan and tells him he has no business thinking and talking like this as she, training to be an Olympic star, will never accept a village bumpkin who has no goals. Sultan is crushed, but following his father's advice, starts training with determination and wins a state-level championship, including in a weight category double his. Both Arfa and Barkat are impressed, and Arfa agrees to marry Sultan. They have a blissful nikah marriage and train together, winning competitions at the Commonwealth Games in Delhi, the Asian Games, traveling to Hungary for an international championship, and enjoying life. Then, Arfa discovers she is pregnant. Her father is annoyed about her having to miss out on wrestling, but Arfa is happy at Sultan's joy. Sultan keeps wrestling and wins major world competitions including gold at the London Olympics. By then, he's become extremely arrogant, praising himself constantly, often ignoring Arfa and his elders, even slapping a reporter. He tells Arfa he only wants a baby boy and that he will not drop out of a world championship in Turkey, even though it means traveling just when Arfa's baby is due. While Sultan competes and wins in Turkey, Arfa has her baby. But when Sultan returns, he finds Arfa shattered, telling him the baby a man, having the same as Sultan's rare O-negative blood group, needed blood which wasn't locally available in the village, and as his own father wasn't there, the child couldn't be saved. Arfa leaves Sultan, who is absolutely broken and stops wrestling, trying instead to collect money for a local blood bank to be built in the name of their child. Govind tells Akash all this, and Akash appeals to Sultan's desire for the blood bank, which is not being aided by the local politician. Akash tells Sultan, if he wins an MMA fight, he can immediately build the blood bank. Sultan agrees to fight and tells Arfa he loves her, and she should pray for him, and them. He collects earth from the Akara and leaves for Delhi. In Delhi, Sultan's being overweight and middle-aged makes the investors jittery. Akash convinces them to give Sultan a try and also finds him a local sponsor, Kakreha pressure cookers. Akash takes Sultan to Fateh Singh, Randeep Huda, an MMA trainer in Old Delhi, who had earlier spoilt his own career with doping and drugs, but now trains champion MMA stars. Fateh Singh taunts Sultan about his weight and sadness and refuses to train him. He finally agrees when Sultan, driven to action by his insults, defeats his current star. Sultan begins a grueling training session with Fateh Singh. There is a lengthy montage of him training. The MMA tournament kicks off, and Sultan impresses the media at a press conference with his humility and gentle wit. His rivals are very aggressive, and Sultan becomes the popular underdog. As he fights several cutthroat MMA experts, his whole village cheers and his fans grow, but Arfa stays aloof. Lonely, Sultan spends his free time watching his wedding video. The one night he goes out with Akash to celebrate the latter's birthday, he sings a song about Arfa, which goes viral on the internet, tagging Sultan Romeo wrestler as well. By day, Sultan keeps winning contests, although by a slim margin. One day, as he's badly injured in the ring, he imagines Arfa encouraging him, and he stands up to fight back and is victorious. But his injuries are serious, and he's advised to withdraw from the contest finale. Govind, who's helping Sultan, calls Arfa immediately to Delhi and she reaches. Sultan and Arfa finally talk and forgive one another. She tells him he must fight this fight and not give up. Sultan takes on MMA King Marcus, who beats up him very badly in the ring. But as Sultan goes down, he remembers their child's empty cot and his giving up his Olympic gold then and there. Arfa meanwhile is sitting in the locker room, praying, while the Akara earth starts to fall from its bag. Sultan gets up and fights Marcus and wins. Arfa comes into the stadium and Sultan leaves his trophy to embrace her. Together, they open an Aman blood bank in their village and go back to training together. Arfa wins a prestigious championship and discovers she is pregnant again. Sultan asks her for a girl this time and soon, the happy couple are training, along with their adorable little daughter.